All right, so moving on now to complex fractions. So a complex fraction is just a fraction of fractions. So we have a fraction in the numerator and the denominator. So here's an example right here. I know it looks kind of scary, but actually once we break it down, remember that fraction symbol means divide. So we could rewrite this as 8 over 5 divided by 4 over 10. And now it looks a lot more doable. So now we're going to change to multiplication and take the reciprocal of that second fraction. And then let's do some cross simplification here because I can see I have an 8 and a 4, and both of those are divisible by 4. So 8 divided by 4 gives me 2, and 4 divided by 4 gives me 1. And I also have a couple numbers divisible by 5. So this 5 we could divide by 5 to get 1. And this 10 we could divide by 5 to get 2. Okay. And then we're going to do top times top. 2 times 2 gives us 4. Over bottom times bottom. 1 times 1 gives us 1. 4 over 1 is the same as the whole number 4. So our answer here is 4. All right, so moving on now to cases where you might have unit analysis, or you might have units that are going alongside your number. And so, for example, here, take a look at this first question. So we have a light plane. It flew 280 miles in 1 3/4 hours, and we want to know its speed. So we're looking for its speed. And speed we know would be in miles per hour. So that means we're taking our miles and dividing our hours. So we're looking for 280 miles divided by 1 3/4 hour. Okay, let's rewrite that as a division. So, or as with the division symbol. So we've got 280 miles divided by 1 3/4 hour. Now you can take out the units for this part of the question if you want, but what's important to notice is that we are going to end up with an answer of miles divided by hour. So our final answer then is going to be in miles over hours or miles per hour. Okay, so let's convert that mixed number into an improper fraction first. So that's going to give me 4 times 1 gives me 4, plus 3 gives me 7. So 7 over 4. And I'm just going to rewrite that 280 as 280 over 1. I'm going to get rid of my units, but just remember my answer is going to be in miles per hour, I think. So we've got over 7 over 4. And then we can change that to multiplication if we flip the second number. So 280 over 1 times 4 over 7. And what can we do here? Well, we could just do top times top over bottom times bottom and simplify. I can see I can cross simplify here because I know that 28 is divisible by 7 and I have 280. So that's also going to be divisible by 7. And if we check our answer, I'm just going to see what's 280 divided by 7. I think that should be 40. 280 divided by 7, yes, is 40. So we can simplify here to 40 and 1. And then that makes our math pretty easy because we have 40 times 4 gives us 160 over 1, which is 160. So our answer then, don't forget your units in your final answer. So here it would be in miles per hour. And we would say that is the speed. All right, next one. We have a piece of plastic water pipe, which is 63 inches long. So let's draw out that. Here's our pipe. Oh dear. Remember, this is why I do math. That's a pipe. And so you'll have to use your imagination. This is a pipe. It's 63 inches long. So from here to here, we've got 63 inches. Okay, and we want to cut this pipe into pieces that are each going to be 3.5 inches long. So each of these pieces we cut is 3.5 inches. Okay, we want to know how many of these shorter pieces we can cut. So we're going to do our total length of 63 and divide that by the 3.5 inches to figure out how many pieces we can cut. So we're going to have 63, and we could put the inches down, 63 inches over 3.5 inches. And sometimes it can be hard to figure out which number is going in your numerator and which number is going in your denominator. One thing to think about is which number is your total. So here, your total length is the 63 inches. And so that's the number we're then dividing by that length of the smaller piece, which is 3.5 inches. Okay, now notice our units here. Our inches are just going to cancel out. So our answer is going to be unitless, which is what we expect because we're going to get a number, which is the number of pieces. So there's not going to be a measurement attached to it. All right, so we can go ahead and divide this fraction. So this is the same as 63 divided by 3.5, which is 63 over 1 divided by, let's convert to a mixed number, to an improper fraction there rather. So 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7, so 7 over 2. And now let's flip and multiply. So we're going to have 63 over 1 multiplied by 2 over 7 when we flip that. And I've got a 63 and a 7, both are divisible by 7. So I'm going to cross simplify here. And then I get 9 times 2 is 18 over 1, which gives me 18. So my answer here then would be 18 pieces can be cut. Okay. Let's take a look at this next one. Oh, and there's a couple of corrections here. So I would like you to just cross off that of, and don't worry about this last bit about disregarding waste. So we want to know how many pieces that are 6.25 inch long can be cut by 35 metal rods that are each 40 inches long. So now we have metal rods that are 40 inches long. Okay, and there's 35 of those. And we want to know how many pieces that are 6.25 inches we can cut from that. So each of these is 6.25. Okay, so let's take a look at one rod first and see how many pieces we could cut from that. So if we have one rod that's 40 inches, we're going to want to divide that 40 inches into pieces that are 6.25 inches. So it's going to be 40 inches divided by 6.25 inches. Just like in the last problem, those inches are going to cancel. And so our answer is not going to have units, which makes sense because it's going to be the number of pieces. So this is 40 divided by 6.25, which is 40 over 1 divided by 4 times 6 gives us 24, plus 1 is 25. So 25 over 4 as the improper fraction. And so let's flip and multiply that second fraction. So multiplied by 4 over 25. And what about cross simplification here? Well, I notice the 40 and the 25 are both divisible by 5. So I can cancel that out for an 8 and this bottom to get a 5. And that is going to give me what? 8 times 4 is 32 over 5. So that's an improper fraction. It represents more than 1. For me to kind of visualize how many pieces we're going to cut. I would rather see that as a mixed number. So let's convert that to a mixed number. So we do the division, 32 divided by 5. We can go 6 times, and that's going to leave us with 2 left over. So the mixed number then is 6, and then our remainder 2 over our divisor of 5. So 6 2/5 pieces can be cut from every rod. Well, we want to know how many total pieces that are the length we want can be cut. So here we can actually only cut 6 pieces, 6 full pieces. So our answer then is going to be that 6 pieces we can cut from each rod multiplied by our 35 rods. Okay, maybe I'll write in. So this is 6 pieces times 35 rods. And so let's use our calculators to multiply that out. So 6 times 35. Oops, I did that wrong. Hang on. 6 times 35. And we get 210 pieces can be cut.